of just brief final thoughts, because this was obviously a very big project, and I kind of want to give it a proper send off. Um, so going into the project, you know, my first thoughts are, what is anthropology? Is the first question I'm asking. It started off as very overwhelming, but it didn't seem like it was more than what I could handle. Like I felt like I could handle it. Um, but the first few months of this project, um, it was the hardest part was understanding how to actually research anthropology, and then um, finally, someone said anthropology is more like trying to understand human perspectives, and that completely changed how I did it. So I really started to get into it with um, the Parthenon and towards the end of my research, because I actually researched the Parthenon second. I did the Vestal Virgins first because that was the one that came up the most. Was obviously, if you look up biological practices of a civilization, sex is going to come up. Um, but then the other side was I was able to say, okay, so this is about perspectives. So I can take this to, why would someone have built a round temple over the classic rectangular kind? What's sort of the difference there? Because from a anthropological perspective, I would figure, well, there's only one way to look at it. It's just cultural. Maybe they thought it looked nice. Maybe it represented something. But in my anthropological research, it was no, there's a biological aspect to this. This also was supposed to represent the power of the Vestal Virgins. It was supposed to represent women. It was supposed to represent chastity in some ways. And then also you know, obviously there's an archaeological perspective on it because it's a building. But obviously I don't think that I know have like you know the most academic view of anthropology, but I think I walked away with a much better understanding of what it is, and therefore a much greater appreciation for what it does for people, which is just really amazing. Um, I know that there is a lot of discussion about whether or not honors contracts should be done um, in intro classes. I could see it going either way, but in my experience with this project, I think it helped me a lot in class because it gave me a hands-on way to learn about anthropology and learn about it through culture and through biology. Because I think one of the hardest parts about anthropology is really just getting an understanding of what am I trying to get from this, um, like I think for biology, you know about primates, but then it's like, okay, what do I take away from this? And um, because it's primates, and then you're like, oh, we can see human behaviors reflected in it, so then maybe we can learn about um, human behavior, and that's something that can be very hard to wrap your head around. But this kind of gave me an idea to say, okay, these are people who lived thousands of years ago, but based off of what they left behind, we can kind of figure out maybe what they thought, or maybe what they believed and what they valued, um, which is just really cool. So overall, I'm very grateful that I got to do the project. I was sort of just reading off some bullet points I made, so this was very scattered. Um, but overall, yeah, just I guess bottom line, I could see it going either way with the honors contracts. I found that it was very helpful. I think um, the my grades reflected that it was very helpful, and I think overall for anthropology, it was a great way to get hands on, and I had so much fun doing it, and I got to learn so much cool stuff. So yeah, thank you.